Hello everybody, Loomer here again. I'm at San Diego Comic-Con and I'm sitting outside the exterior of the Xbox Lounge where Ubisoft NC is showing off the Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer again. And so I'm here with Damien Kieken once again,
hey.
Who, if you forgot, was the he is the multiplayer game director for Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer. And so he's been nice enough to talk a little bit more, kind of maybe like a follow-up to what we talked about at E3.
Yeah.
Just kind of some new stuff that's come up. We can talk about some other questions and stuff, but I thought we could start off by talking about the new Wolfpack mode, which was announced recently.
So that's the new mode we revealed this week to the press. And so Wolfpack is the first mode, co-op mode, in fact, in Assassin's Creed. So we're very exciting to show that to the people. So it's how can I say that? Like it's called Wolfpack, so it's a mode where you and your teammates just hunt down targets and kill them, but it's not that easy, so you have to fight against time. Time is running out, and to gain new time, you have to reach a new sequence, and to do so, you have to reach a certain score. And so to reach the score, you need to do good kills, quality kills, right? Like in all other modes. And that's where the game kicks in, is that you have to fight between rushing, because you don't have a ton of time, and between doing quality kills to reach the next sequence. So it's the right balance as a player that you have to find to go to the next sequence.
Yeah, that's actually, it's funny because that's actually a lot like how, like, kind of the optimal strategy in games like Wanted and stuff is, it's not always taking the slow approach, it's finding the right trade-off between rushing and getting an acceptable number of kills. And usually that meant settling for like a silent kill instead of an incognito or something. It seems like it'll be probably the same thing like that.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but it's in co-op. So also one of the good way to do a good score is to synchronize your kill with your teammate. So you have the multi-kill bonus, so you can get that at each kill, which is really...
So is that all it is with the synchronizing? Because I kept seeing it referenced, I wasn't quite sure what it is. Is it just you get a multi-kill bonus and that gives you more points?
So in all the normal waves, you get the multi-kill bonus, but we have some dedicated sequences that are different, that we call today the sync kill. I don't know if it will be called like that in the when we ship the game, but it's called sync kill. And you really have for this wave to synchronize your kill. So when everybody is in range of kill, a slow-mo starts and you have 1 or 2 seconds to press the X button, and when you do so, you do an amazing kill where everybody is killing together, all the group, and it's a show-off moment. It's also, for us, it's kind of a reward moment. It always occurs after a hard sequence to reach. So when you really fought to reach this sequence, then you have this little rest moment to do an amazing synchronized kill.
Okay, so it's not meant to be. That's not meant to be a challenging wave.
It's not meant to be a challenging wave. When you reach the last ones, it's harder. So now today, the last sync kill, we just internally it's really hard to do. We just don't do it. So we will try to fine tune that because at the end you kill a special character. That's why you do this mod, is to kill this special character, and if you do so, you unlock his costume.
Oh wow!
And then you can wear it in the versus mode.
That's really cool. So do you? What sort of difficulty are you aiming at for this mode? Do you expect like the casual player to be able to complete all the waves, or? So
no, to be honest, no. In fact, at the beginning, we really wanted to do a co-op mode because it's a fantasy we didn't have in the multiplayer yet. And it's also a very good entry point for people who don't want to be killed by other players, who just want to play with their body. But the more we played with it, the more we tuned it, the more it gets challenging. So now, like for example, the press, they reach between sequence 5 and 8, and we have 25 sequences overall. And that we can do internally today. Not everybody, but some of us can do it. So we are still fine-tuning it to find the right balance. But what is really cool is that even if you reach the end, the time you did so will matter in the leaderboards. So you can still replay it to do it in a faster way and to be higher on the leaderboard. So the time counts, and the more time you have at the end remaining, the more bonus you will get for that, and the higher you will be in the leaderboards. So you have that. And also what is really cool is that because it's based on scoring and not on waves, it means that when you start, you can jump several sequences in one kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with newcomers, we will do sequence 1, sequence 2, sequence 3. But now us internally, we just jump to sequence 5 if we do a very good kill right at the beginning. And that's really cool. So it means that you really go into the challenging part quite fast, and you don't have all this boring wave that you can find in some other games. It's not to blame them, but you know, sometimes in this type of mode, you have to wait for the cool waves to come, for the challenging ones to come. And here because it's based on scoring, if you're doing good kills right away, you will jump directly to the challenging sequences.
Yeah. Okay, and so one thing I'm a little confused about, because I saw this in one of the online articles or something for this that was announcing this mode. Some people were saying you could play it single player, like by yourself.
Yeah. So today it's 1 to 4 players.
1 to 4. Okay.
We want it to be played single player because it's still a good way to train.
Yeah, it's almost like a training ground type thing, but a little. It's like a game out of training ground.
Yeah. But single player wise, it's tough. It's really hard because you have 2 targets to kill.
Oh, you still have 2 targets.
Yeah.
Because all the other ones, it scales with your team, right? It's
yeah.
Like 2
so
people,
like
2,
if you
3,
play
and
at
3,
4, you have 4 targets.
Yeah.
Maybe you will have more for the last sequences, so more than the players you are. So maybe if you are 2, you will have 3 or 4 targets to kill. But now today, for 1 player, you have 2 targets always. We will look into it. Maybe you have just 1 at the beginning and then 2 at the end. But it gets harder because we have several types of target archetypes. So we have some that are cowards. They just run away when they detect you. Others that are fighters. So when they see you, they stun you. So like for example, in a situation when you're alone, and you have 2 targets. If you kill 1, the other will stun you. So you have, to maybe throw smoke bomb before, try to play with that. So you still have all of those. And of course, some targets can use abilities. So you have some targets using Blender, so harder to find. You have some targets when they detect you, they just disguise themselves where they run away.
Maybe smoke bomb.
Yeah, others using smoke bomb, others using firecrackers. So yeah, we have definitively hard archetypes, and also their detection change. So some are almost blind, so it's really hard for them to see you, and others will spot you right away if you are really far. So really, you need to work your approach by going out of line of sight, then coming back, disguise, or using the glimmer ability and things like that to not be spotted.
And you're not tied down to that one. You can still cycle through all 4 targets, right?
Yeah.
You're not tied down to one.
You can cycle through, but we give to all players a different one so that they don't steal the kills and things like that. But you're not forced to kill the one we choose for you, of course. Like in Manhunt, in fact.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like an interesting mode, and I wonder if, because initially there was that whole thing where Xbox.com listed AC3 with co-op, and everyone was like, "Whoa, co-op!" And then like there were various Ubisoft people that adamantly denied that, and I think because they didn't want people to think it was campaign co-op, which is what people have, I know has been kind of on the wish list of like a lot of fans for this franchise, but. Yeah, so it's probably good to refute just say no co-op and then come back to well, we have co-op, but it's not quite what you were probably expecting. But
you have so different ways to do a co-op, so we don't want that player just to think, oh yeah, very scope campaign, AC3.
I mean, technically, like Manhunt and those kinds are also kind of co-op. You're just against other co-op teams too, kind of.
It's true.
So it's okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'm very interested to see how it turns out. You guys don't have it here today. I don't know if you'll ever have it playable before the game comes out.
To the public, probably not, because it's a mod that where you really need to cooperate to play with the guy, to take time to do several sessions to get into it. It's really hard to showcase that at a public events when you play with random players and things like that. So. And it's also even harder to cooperate at 4, because if you don't do so, the time's running on and then it's over, And we don't want to have people queuing in for 2 hours and then just play 30 seconds, what I mean? So it's still hard to do that in a public show, even more when you have to, while in Domination we can just put 8 people together, we explain them the thing, they know they can defend alone, even if they will be way better if they cooperate with the other players, but it's a mod that you can enjoy on yourself, so
cool.
That's better, we think, for people to queue and then to enjoy the game than the Wolfpack. Wolfpack is really a mod that we think mostly the players will play with their buddies, like it's really a mode that we want players to play with friends. We will have matchmaking for it, so if you want to play with random, you can.
Okay.
But if you want to be good at it, you need to play with people.
Yeah,
you know,
I definitely
and
see
to
it.
Communicate with them.
Yeah, I definitely can see a lot of like maybe YouTube time trial type runs with plans and stuff. It'd be pretty cool to see. I think.
Hey, we can do the Wolfpack in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's just like 10 minutes straight of just like slaughter. It'd be kind of cool to watch. Yeah, because you remove that entire pursuer dynamic
and also it's different in different maps. So like in the Northwest Passage, you have big line of sight because you don't have height building and everything. So it's way harder in Northwest Passage than it's like say Boston or things like that. So
yeah, and roofs too. There's not a whole lot of roofs or cliffs or even those that are there aren't that
and
high.
Also, you know, we have secondary objectives on Wolfpack.
Okay.
So like we say, like if you kill this guy with an acrobatic kill, we give you more points.
Oh, is it like 100% sync almost, like with multiplayer?
So you will also have, on top of being synchronized and doing your poison kill, the thing you pre-planned, you will have random objective kills that kicks out, and that can make your life easier or harder depending if you try to do it or not. So it's also a way to spice things up and to make it varied. And we have also what we call extra targets. So it's like it's a random dude that appears sometime, and it's a bonus time. So if you kill him, he's just here for 15 seconds. So as soon as you see him, it's like, fuck, do I kill my target or do I kill him?
Run after him.
And if you kill him, he will give you like 20 seconds more, something like that. So it's also trying to bring chaos, you know. But and also. When you just have 10 seconds remaining, it's like, oh, it's my last chance. If I kill him, then maybe I will have time to kill my extra target. So we've played with this kind of thing to really make it bring depth to the mod at the end.
Cool. All right, well, it sounds very interesting. I'm very excited to play it, especially with my friends, to see how that goes. Sounds cool.
It's a mode to play with friends.
Cool. All right, well, why don't we blow through some of these other things real quick. So one other thing I thought we could talk about real quick is the beta, or I guess maybe we should say the lack thereof, because on Thursday at the AC panel, Alex Hutchinson, somebody asked him about it in the Q&A session, and he said there wasn't going to be a beta. And so if you could, I guess, confirm that and maybe talk about the reasons behind it.
So we don't do a closed beta this year. It's something that we love to do, to be honest. And if we could do it, we would do it every year.
Yeah, I think you mean open beta, right?
We have done both, in fact. So for some it was only pre-orders and PSN Plus. For others it was open. So we have done both. But to be honest, doing a beta takes a lot of time for the team, a lot of testing time. We have to polish a demo version, to submit it to Sony or Microsoft, and then to have them validating it, to fix all the bugs and everything. And it takes a lot of time to do that. And if we have done so, we would have been able to do other things on AC3. And this year we've decided to go for adding more features to the game, polishing more those features than doing a closed beta. But at the end, I agree with you. If we could do it every year, we would really love it to do so, because we love having, you know, community feedbacks, being able to tweak things before the games comes out. But it's a choice. We are still doing a beta, but not with players, just to validate the matchmaking and everything. But it's not with players, just to have everything running really smoothly on the launch. But maybe next time.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly sad. I know a lot of other people are really sad that that there's not going to be a beta. But I think as long as I think the important thing then, if you guys aren't doing a beta, is just to really make sure that when the game comes out, that those first like 4 weeks at least or whatever, that you really are gathering all the feedback and making changes. And with Revelations, it was like there was a patch a couple weeks later, and then like 3 months before the next one. It's like that, especially if you're not doing a beta, that really
we will have a post-launch team on AC3 that will be made of people who worked on AC3. So we're definitively aiming to have a good follow-up on AC3.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, definitively. And also this year we tried to be at more shows to showcase more the multiplayer. It's the first time I think we're at Comic-Con, for example. So we will mainly certainly be at Gamescom, maybe with more pods and things like that. So it's also a way because we want the public to play it, and each time I see players playing it, I take some notes, I see things that doesn't work the way I want and things like that. So we're still having this kind of test, So
okay, great. So I guess moving on, just really quickly, maybe I thought we could talk about ability sets. Ever since Brotherhood, we've had 5 ability sets.
Yeah.
But the number of modes has been steadily increasing. Revelations had 10, I think. And I don't know if you guys
11,
are removing any or not.
But
you're adding at least 2 more now.
So it's the more is not the best. Yeah. So as we talked already together, is like if you do a playlist with 10 different mods, that it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So we will remove some of those, the less played ones, and we are bringing new ones.
Okay.
Because at the end we think that the heart of the game is really on the core modes, and it doesn't matter to have 20 or 30 if everybody plays just 2 modes. You see what I mean?
I agree.
So we really favor the quality over the quantity. We get a bit crazy on ACR, trying different direction to see what the community will like.
Yep.
And now we had the answers, and with those answers we made the new modes like domination that really people love on AC3 to answer those kind of things, and remove the ones that weren't played, to be honest.
Okay. Are you looking to add more profile sets either through additional ones or being able to customize the default ones? I think those are usually the most.
So yeah, we're looking into that. We want to be able that players can buy the default set and then edit them. It's something that I can't promise you today. We're not 100% sure to do it, but it's planned. So we'll try to make it happen on AC3 if you have time to do it. Yeah.
Or at the very least, just throw in a couple more slots, I guess, if that doesn't work out. But yeah, that sounds great. That's great, and I think a lot of people will be happy about that. Especially when some of these modes have like offensive, defensive rounds. Those modes times 2.
Yeah, and maybe for Wolfpack you wouldn't want to have a really different set.
Yeah, definitely.
Than in versus modes,
So I thought maybe real quick we could go over some of the new perks and streaks. Not all of them, just like a few, because those haven't really been covered very well.
We already discussed in the previous video about the abilities. We haven't went through everything, and I don't have I'm not sure of what we've revealed yet and not.
Yeah. So I saw a new money one in the Wolfpack trailer that was out on GameSpot and IGN.
Yeah. So we have the money bomb. Yeah. It's true. Money bomb. It's an ability that is used to reveal someone, so you throw it next to a group and you see all the NPCs going for the money, and the guy who doesn't go for the money, it's the player.
How is it different from firecrackers then?
So it doesn't blind him, so that's different. And it's also, you can use it kind of as a chase breaker. So if you throw a money bomb, it does a group behind you, so then it's hard for the guy trying to following you.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
But you have to time it right. It's and where there are some civilian, if you do it and there are nobody next to it, it won't work for sure.
Cool.
So it's different, and it doesn't have the same cooldown as the firecracker too.
Okay.
So if you want to, I use it for example to reveal a lot my targets in Wolfpack,
Yeah.
And because it has a shorter cooldown, it's better for me than using the firecracker, for example.
Cool. Okay, so I guess we can just go through some of the ones real quick, like maybe the Scavenger Lost Streak, maybe.
So Scavenger, it's one of the new Lost Streak. It's based on the ground finish, so it's in fact you make more points on ground finishes.
Yeah.
It's something that we're still tuning in, but it will be based on that. All the lost bonuses are really made to help you go back in the game and do some score and succeed back, because you're chaining some lost actions, like being stunned, being killed, just losing your contract and things like that. We have also the shadow approach, which helps you grow your approach meter faster. Mm-hmm. And things like that. So we are still tuning in all of those to make them well, but
And then the kill streak, you're talking about I don't know what the official name is yet, but it's like a super morph.
It's kind of a super morph. I'm not sure of the official name because we were debating between polymorph and other words, and I don't remember what we validated at the end.
Yeah.
But it's a kind of super morph or mass morph if you want, and it's when you do a good kill streak, and in fact it morph everybody, all the crowd in yourself, but not like a morph, not like just 5 people, but it's like more 10-15 people. And it's really cool because it helps you hide after a big kill. So it makes you relief, and it's also a good way to it's just a bragging right. Like
show off.
everybody will see your skin and say, oh, this guy is performing well because he did 5 or I don't know the exact number kills in a row, you know?
Yeah. It seems like the Animus hack was also kind of like a bragging rights type thing too. Is that coming back too? Do you know?
Yeah, we have the Animus hack back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so moving on really quickly, I thought we could end maybe just talking about some of the maps and stuff. So I think there's kind of 2 aspects to this. One of them is the night maps. So Northwest Passage has a night variant here at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It goes through, and in the past, in Brotherhood, you can get into cycles where you would be like Pienza night to Pienza night, like back and forth. And then in Revelations, you could still kind of have that in the map voting system. Maybe you just played on Souk, and then if you want to stay in that mode, your only other choice was Souk Night or something like that. And I think if you could talk about what you're doing with that.
So yeah, several questions here. So first, each map will have 3 versions.
Yeah.
So the night or dusk or other time of day version, the normal one, and what we call the weather version. Yeah. So it's just that you won't have always a weather. Yeah. So like Northwest Passage, now you have always, for the sake of the demo, you always have a snowstorm, but we want it to be more random, more as a surprise. So sometimes it will happen, sometimes it won't. And on the night version, sometimes it will be dusk or different. So like for example, on Boston, it's Boston on fire. So you see some buildings on fire, and it has it's the night, but it's like with an orange lightning, and it's really different that from the night of Northwest Passage, which is like almost green with the Aurora Boreals. I don't know how to say that in English, but
it's close enough. Aurora Boreals. Actually, I'm not even sure, but I think it's close enough.
But you know, so we try to have different moods. We have also in another map, you see. I don't want to spoil everything, but we try to do some different things.
Yeah, it sounds really cool.
Yeah. And so on the vote version, so we heard the community saying that they want more to vote about maps than to vote about modes.
Yes.
So you will have more choice about map than modes. Yeah. So at each rematch you will have 2 new maps, and 1 new mode. Yeah. So this way, if you want to change the mode, you still can. But if you don't want and you really just want to change the map, you can change the map. And as you said, now if you picked up Northwest Passage, for example, it won't be proposed in the next round, and even not in the next one, because we just put it in another list or in the bottom of the list. So you will have to circle through all the maps before having this one proposed again. Yeah. And for the game, that it is the weather, the night or the day version, it's for the game it's the same map. Yeah. So it won't propose you the night version after the day version.
Yeah, you won't see Boston, what is it called? Boston Harbor, or?
Yeah, it's Boston Harbor.
Boston Harbor and then Boston Harbor night or dusk. No, like you won't see those as the 2 choices.
You will have to see all the other maps.
It'll pick one of those and propose it for that slot. Okay.
And so this way it will be way more varied.
Yeah.
So like you will have Boston night, and maybe 10 rounds after you will have Boston day, and so it means that you will have to do 30 match to have Boston night again. You see what I mean? Yeah. And to vote for it. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, well, I think that's a good note to end on. Thanks again so much for talking and about all this stuff. Game sounds really cool. Sad that there's not going to be a beta, but I'm really excited to play it, I guess, when it comes out.
Yeah, and you played it already at TIFF, now at Comic-Con, you know, so
I'm in a
people will be able
position.
to play it at Gamescom and maybe other events, so they should definitely come and check it out. And the game ships the 30th of October, so it will be really good, and I can't wait to have their feedbacks and to see them playing and to fight them. To kill them, to poison them.
Okay, great. Okay, well, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Definitely looking forward to it. Yep, bye.